Ever wondered how to draft and sew a perfectly fitted tube dress from scratch? I'll walk you through every single step from pattern drafting to sewing the final piece. Let's start. Yeah. Let's begin by drafting the front pattern of our fitted tube dress. We'll start with the neckline. First, measure and mark 3 inches for the neck width and 3 inches for the neck depth. Using a curved ruler, connect the neck width to neck depth to form a neat, rounded neckline. Next, measure the shoulder. For my pattern, I'm using 7 inches. From the shoulder line, go down by 8.1 inches to determine the armhole depth. If you're unsure of how to calculate this, a simple formula is to divide your bust measurement by 6 and then add 2.5 inches. This formula works well for most body types and gives a natural, comfortable armhole. Once you've located the armhole depth, draw a line across. On that line, measure and mark 7 inches for the armhole width. Then go back to the shoulder line and drop it by 1.5 inches to create the shoulder slope. This helps the dress fit more naturally. Use your curved ruler to connect this slanted line back to the neckline curve. Now it's time to draw the vertical guideline for the body measurement. Start by marking the bust line, the under bust line, the waistline, hip line, and the hemline. The hip line is typically 9 inches below the waist, and the hemline depends on how long you want your dress to be. I'll be making mine just above the knee, but you can go longer or shorter depending on your preference. Next, we need to mark the nipple to nipple measurement, which helps us correctly place the bust darts. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches, so I will mark 3.5 inches from the center front. Draw a line straight down from the bust line to the hip. This will serve as your dart guideline. Now pause and label all the vertical lines you've drawn so far. The armhole line, the bust line, the under bust, the waistline, the hip line, and the hemline. Labeling helps you keep track of the structure as we add shaping details. From the armhole depth, go up by 3 inches. This step helps form a smoother armhole curve, especially important in tube dresses that require a firm but flattering finish. Now we'll mark the body measurements on the bust line. Mark 1/4 of your bust measurement. Do the same for the waist and the hip measurement, but don't forget to add 1.5 inches to the waistline to account for the dart intake. This extra shaping will help your dress look more fitted. Connect all the points you've marked using your ruler. Draw smooth lines from the bust to the waist to the hips and finally down to the hemline. So the dart intake is 1.5 inches, which we'll be placing on the waistline. So 0.75 on both sides. So you're just going to go ahead to connect this point like so. Once you get to the hip line, you need to go up by at least 3 inches or 2 inches. So then you go ahead to connect the dart legs. Now let's shape the bust area. On the bust line, go in by 0.5 inches on both sides of the dart line. This helps cup the bust and eliminate any extra fabric. Using your curved ruler, connect these points down to the waistline to create a smooth and natural shaping curve. Next, we will form the bust dart. From the bust line, measure 1.5 inches downwards and mark that point. Connect this point up to the bust line. Find the midpoint of the shoulder and draw a line from that point to the bust point. This forms a princess dart, which gives a more defined shape around the bust and is ideal for fitted garments. Now decide where you want the tube top to stop. From the bust point, I went up by 3.5 inches. You can also measure down from the shoulder by 5 inches or 6 inches, depending on your design. From this new top edge, go in by 0.5 inches. So on both sides of the dart line to shape the tube's upper edge. Again, use your ruler to connect smoothly into the previous shaping lines. At this stage, you will close the bust dart to reduce any excess and finalize the shaping. To do this, slash along the dart line and overlap the paper until the dart closes. Tape or pin it in place. This helps eliminate extra fullness around the bust while keeping the side seam nice and clean. After closing the dart, smooth out the side seams. You may need to redraw the curve from the bust down to the waistline to maintain a nice shape. A quick tip here, I initially added zero point 0.5 inches to the bust measurement to compensate for the dart intake. However, I later realized that the fit wasn't firm enough, so if you want your tube top to be snug and fitted, avoid adding extra allowance there. Instead, make sure to subtract the dart intake when cutting to get a better fit. Now double check all your markings and curves to ensure everything looks balanced. Once satisfied, go ahead and cut out the front pattern. I'm cutting along the hem and then up along the side seam. This completes our front pattern draft. So I skipped the part of connecting the armhole area, so make sure you're doing that as well. And once you're done, go ahead to continue. So now I'm cutting through the underbust area as I want to create a style line for some added design. If you are doing the same, remember to cut along the new lines and carefully remove the bust darts from the pattern. Congratulations, you've just successfully drafted the front pattern for a fitted dress. Up next, we will move on to drafting the back pattern. Now for the back pattern, repeat similar steps. Mark the armhole depth, the waist and the hip line down to the hem. Then mark the neck width at 3 inches and depth at 1 inch. At the shoulder line, go down by 1 inch for the slope and connect it. To avoid gaping at the back, go in by 0.5 inches at the waistline on the center back. Connect from the neckline to the waistline down 6 inches for the dart length. So we're going ahead to take down the measurement of the waist. So make sure you're taking your accurate measurement. So we'll go ahead to connect the point like so. So for the armhole, we're just going to get the midpoint and mark that point, going by 0.5 inch and connect the point to create the armhole curve. Go ahead to take your dart measurement, which is what I'm doing like so. Mark the point and draw a straight line and connect the dots. So like I said, you're just going to go up by 3 inches from the hip line and connect it to the top and mark you 0.75 on both sides and mark out the dots. From the center back, I went down by 1 inch to connect to the armhole to create a curve at the back. And we're done. So now we can label this is the center back and this is the side back. Now you can go ahead to cut this out. So make sure you are taking note of the pattern that you've already drafted and making sure that everything is in place before you go ahead to cut. So now remember that for that center back, we have a zipper allowance there, which I haven't put the allowance yet because I went in by 0.5 inches. So make sure you're correcting everything and everything is in place because that is what I will be doing. And here we have the front and the back pattern. You can see how this looks like. I'm using this beautiful coffee brown fabric with matching lining, zipper, thread, and also interfacing. So I went ahead to cut out the bust area, and this is the fabric with the lining for the front, for the back as well, and I also cut out lining for the bust area. So make sure you're putting your SD on the fabric. And I saw this cute leftover brown fabric which I'm going to use for the top area, and I'm so happy I finally saw this because the design was so simple and this just made it very nice. You'll also want to notch your darts and seam points to make sewing easier. Start by notching all the darts as marked, then go ahead to stitch the darts. You do same for the lining and also for the back. Now go ahead to stitch it like so. Join the bust seams together by stitching 0.5 inches on each side. This is what it looks like once stitched. So go ahead and press the seams flat for a smooth finish. Now the next step is to join the top piece with the front bodies, making sure the bust seams match up correctly. So carefully pin them together and stitch along the sides to join the bust area. Once that is done, we'll move on to adding the neckline facing. For this part, I'll be using a matching colored fabric that I've already pressed on fold. I'll place the rough edge of the fabric at the top part of the bodice, which will be enclosed on the seam. Then I'll position the lining piece right on top. With everything in place, I'll stitch across the neckline using 0.5-inch seam allowance. After stitching, this is what it looks like. Go ahead and top stitch along the neckline seam. This helps the lining stay in place and also gives the neckline a crisp professional finish. Now that the neckline is finished, we're going to hem the lower edge of the dress. To do this, turn the right sides of the fabric and lining together so they are facing each other and stitch along the hemline using 0.5-inch seam allowance. I'll run a stitch on the entire hem to secure it. Once the hem is done, the next is to sew the side seams. Make sure that the seams at the top and hemline are perfectly aligned on both sides before you start stitching. Pin them together if necessary and stitch the sides. Now here's a little trick I used to use for finishing. I actually turn the entire body right side out through a small opening I left at the side seam. This method gives the inside of the garment a clean finish, and there are several techniques for turning and finishing garments, but this is the one I personally prefer. So, and that is it. We are now completely done with the front section of the bodies. Next, we'll begin to work on the back bodies. So we'll start by stitching the dots like we did earlier. Now you go ahead and do that for the lining, and also after that, the next step is to place a zipper at the center back. Okay, so that is what you'll go ahead and measure. So you just measure the length you want your zipper to stop. Mine is 24.5 inches. I'll go ahead to mark that point, and once that is done, I go ahead to stitch down the the sides down to the hem part. Then place the zipper like so and join the sides. Use a zipper foot to attach your invisible zipper. I kept mine straight down with no slit, but you can add one if you prefer. For the lining, I'll be stitching 2 inches upwards from the hem. So stay with me so that you can understand this clearly. So this is how it looks when I open this up. So I'll go ahead to place this on the main fabric. I'll be placing rows together like so, and once that's done, we'll go ahead to stitch the neckline of the back. So make sure you're stitching it straight, making sure everything is opened. Run a straight stitch right there. This is how it looks. So we're just going to be turning the back right now. So we're going to be turning it like so. Make sure you're going to turn it this way using your zipper to close this part up. We're just going to be stitching right to the side where the zipper stopped. Okay, that part, take note of that, making sure where the zipper stopped. We're just going to be stopping right there. So I'll do that for this side and also for the other side, and after that I'll show you. So right here is where the opening is. Can you see it? I've already gone ahead to press the seam nicely, and I'll always like to emphasize this: press as you go. And so what I'm going to do next is gently reach inside through that opening and begin to turn the hem from the inside out. I'll place my hand through the hole like this, carefully grab the inner part of the fabric and slowly pull it through. This technique allows you to bring everything to the right side without distorting your seam. Once I've fully turned it out, I'm going to go in and stitch a straight line, and I'll show you what it looks like so you can see the result for yourself. So this is how it looks like. Can you see how the finishing looks? So that opening still remains there. So the next step is just to stitch the sides, and once you're done, you're going to pull everything out from that hole at the center. And this is how it looks like. So the next step now is to join the front and the back bodies together. So make sure you're making sure everything matches up. You can see mine matches up perfectly, so make sure your measurement is accurate. So now I can just take down my measurement. Then go ahead to stitch the sides. Once you turn, this is how it looks like. Yeah, so the next step now is just to stitch the center part. All you need to do is just to join the sides together, hand tack it or stitch it however you please. That is left to you to decide. And this is actually a professional way of finishing it, so don't be bothered. Then go ahead to stitch the sides like so. And yeah, this is how it looks, and we're done. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment. So I hope you like the final look. Hope it looks really good because I'm loving it as well. So drop a comment in the comment section if you're going to make this in your next project. Okay, see you in the next one.